The ultimate secret to building a very successful company is creating an environment where everybody wins. Investors win, suppliers win, lenders win. Everybody wins. The companies that you acquired, the sellers win. Everybody wins. Well, the essence, how you do that is you can't be a zero sum company. You can't buy things with the idea that you buy them and leave them the way they are, that you just keep things in the status quo, because that's a zero sum game. It means somebody has to lose in order for you to win, because there's only so much to go around. So the key to getting everybody aligned is to create a bigger pie together. You've got to have a strategy that adds value, One of the ways that we do that here at National Diversified is through a strategy called strategic aggregation. When we acquire a company, it's not acquired with the idea that it's going to do what it's doing now, and that's it. Okay. It's not an idea that we're even going to acquire that company and maybe tune its marketing or drop its cost structure in any way. That's not enough. It's not enough. So the idea is, how do we create a business model that the very act of acquiring them and adding them into the existing company that has the right business model, are we able to create value added so that everybody wins? Strategic aggregation does that because each of these companies has its own database of customers. If there's an alignment between their products and services, then they're a candidate for cross-marketing. So we can take the clients of each of them, cross-market them to the other, adding new sales to each of them. And when we create a revenue sharing arrangement between the two entities that lets each of them get credit for the clients they cross-marketed to the other, they get to share the revenue, and vice versa. So they're not only getting new clients who are paying for their product or service, but they're sharing some of that revenue with the source of that client. So now everybody's winning. Okay, everybody's getting more clients. They're getting a share of the client's revenue to their other parties. And if you only had two companies doing this, company A and B sharing and getting towards this cross marketing, well, it's a very limited amount of growth. On the other hand, suppose you put together a strategic aggregation of 24 companies that are aligned in the marketplace. Don't do exactly the same things, but they're aligned. I can give you an example of that in a minute, but they're aligned. Well, now it's not just two guys or two companies sharing their data and sharing their client base. It's 24. So I got 24 partners feeding clients to me. I got my clients being fed to 20 or 30 different companies that sell and do different things. And I'm leveraging off that client or customer's affinity to me and me and the company that I am, and easy to cross market. Well, I'm exploding my revenue. I'm exploding my alternate sources of business that I have from the same client. So where before I only had one source of revenue from the client, when I sold them, for that same client, I've not got 20 or 30 sources of revenue that come to me because I had that client. So without getting into the details and the mechanics of how it happens, what it's called and all that stuff, that's technical. The point is we've added value. We've added value to each acquisition that we've made. And now the pie gets so big that it's easy to give everybody a big piece of this pie. As a percentage, it may be relatively small, but the pie is so big that everybody wins, and they win in spades. So the goal of anybody who's a prolific entrepreneur is not just to acquire stuff. It's not just to do stuff. It's to do it smartly. It's to have structure and strategy that enables what you do to leverage everybody's ability to win. And when everybody sees the win and sees the what they're giving up is relatively small compared to the immensity of the win, you get a lot of happy players who become raving fans of you and the business that you're building, and it will work together to make it happen at an absolutely phenomenal level. So the goal here is to be value add oriented. How do you add value? Business models is just one way to do it. A better business model that creates a whole lot of revenue that didn't exist before they all got together in this business model. Anything you want to do, anything you're going to want to do, there's somebody out there that already knows how to do it and can help you with it. And one of the things we have done here at National Diversified Funding Corporation over the last 50 plus years is pull together all of those resources, external and internal, that it takes to take a business, identify its potential, and package it for funding. And that's where we excel in getting people the money that they need to operate and grow their company.